Hey everybody, this is Craig from 9V Games, and today I'm going to do a video of the Why I Loves, because I know you guys like the Why I Love videos, for one. And two, I can't believe I've never done this series. And if you don't know who that is, get off my channel right now. Seriously, get the fuck out of here. That's Abe, okay? And I'm going to do the Oddworld series, Why I Love the Oddworld series, but it's only going to be limited to Abe games, okay? I know that Stranger's Wrath is a good game. I didn't play it when it first came out, but I do have Stranger's Wrath HD, and I know it's a good game, but my inclusion in this is only going to be the Abe games, because those are the ones I've beaten. So, right now this is Abe's Exodus. Abe's Odyssey is the first one, and that was obviously my introduction to it. I had played it on PC before I played it on PlayStation, and Abe's Exodus is my favorite out of all of them. Abe's Odyssey was fun, but Abe's Exodus, I think the scale was epic for a side-scrolling game where you know your basic means of anything is to save others by using your voice. And I think I like the concept of that game. You know, walking up and ambo. You know, I also used to do ridiculous amounts of impressions. I remember when this game was going to be 3D, when it was going to Munch's Odyssey, I got really upset because I didn't think they could pull off the 3D world very good, and Munch's Odyssey was actually fantastic. Okay. Now loading a demo. Let's see if I can talk over it. But I got as many people as I could to play these games, man. I got my cousin Jay to play it, and he wasn't a huge, like, big-time gamer. He would mainly just play sports games. He loved it. I got my little cousin Kyle to play it. I'm going to have to turn this down, I think. I have my surround sound on, so I don't actually know if turning it down is going to help. Let's do that. What I loved about it is it had consequence if you messed up. You could save everybody, but in your first time through, it's not really possible. Now, like, I don't know, you just saw up there in the demo, there was one person sitting behind these two buttons that were blinking green and red. They're actually explosives, and that man was blind. So basically what you need to do is you need to go over and you need to, you know, disarm him. I think what I liked about Exodus was there was more variation on the Mudokons, and like I said, with the blind ones, and you really needed to, like, think about what you would do. So it was kind of like an old school, it was something that was new school at the time, but it was kind of like a mix of the old school side-scrollers, and I think that's why I was afraid of it going to 3D so much, is because all of my favorite franchises were going to 3D, and some of them didn't fare so well. This one actually did really good. There was problems with the cameras, but every 3D action game in that era had terrible, some of them today still have terrible camera issues. But, like I said, man, what I really liked about it is that it was unique. The story of all three of them they're just so ridiculous, hilarious. Like, the first one, you know, the first and second one, either they're using their body as pops, or the Mudokons' bodies as pops, or they're using their bones to make, you know, the Soulstorm bone brew. And in the third one, they're using Munch, because they used all the lungs from Munch's race. They used them as replacement lungs for Gluckons, because they all smoke cigarettes, and those are the bad guys of the series. And then Munch is the last one, and they use him to find... I don't want to, like, ruin the story too much for you guys, but basically at the beginning of the premise is they catch him and they put this shit on his head, and it will help him find other creatures. And then that plays into the gameplay when you play as Munch. He's in a wheelchair most of the time to move fast, because he got his foot caught in a trap. However, that plays into it as you need to help. You have the aid of other animals, whereas in Abe, you only have the help of Mudokons. Now, you can also possess people, which I also thought was cool. You can possess the guards, you know, the slings and shit, and I thought that was hilarious. That you could possess them, you could beat other ones, you could shoot them, and then eventually when you left their body, they would explode and die. So this game had, I mean, the story I said was decent. I'm just sneaking by. You can't possess somebody when you see one of those. But the story was funny, like I said, but it like also had like kind of a serious tone to it. You have to save lives. If you don't save lives, you always get two endings. And you can let a lot of people die, but it won't pan out for you in the end. So It's got a lot of things that I like. It's side scrolling. There's a decent difficulty curve to it. You know, if you have OCD, saving everybody is a must, and restarting areas is a must if you want to do that. I ended up saving a lot in this game. And like I said, I used to do impressions of it all the time. I get a cold right now, so it's hard, but I used to want to always do impressions of Abe. I used to do it with people that, I think there was a kid named Kyle Johnson's the one who got me into Abe's Exodus. No, Abe's Odyssey. And we used to do impressions to each other all the time, which in retrospect is kind of lame. But we used to do it in school all the time, where I'd just walk up and be like, Abel, and then you'd follow me, okay, and then we'd go to the bathroom. I used to love that. Wait a minute, that just sounded horrible. Like, I was just giving a scenario off the top of my head. I didn't mean, like, I used to walk up to him when we used to do this really, like, underground gig. You know what, never mind. I used to love doing impressions of him, okay? And then I tried Munch, and it's really hard, but I did like the dynamic. Munch, this is where I got split, because when Xbox came out, I think some of you might have paid attention to my older videos, I used to be a real PS fanboy, so I did not want an Xbox. I ended up getting an Xbox because I wanted Silent Hill. Munch's Odyssey was also a launch title, so I have that. I ended up getting that, and I loved it, and I loved Munch, and I loved the dynamic between the two, like when Abe walks up and Munch is there and you need him to follow you, and you'd say hello, instead of the standardized Abel, you get like a, there's my buddy, and then Munch would be like, hello Abe, you know, like, it was fucking awesome. They're fun games, man, I'm telling you, and they really exercise your mind, and I think that if you've never played them before, you should give them a try, but they are remaking Abe's Odyssey. As far as I know, it's still ongoing. It's going to be out on PS4, and that's the last thing I heard about it. So hopefully that stays true. If not, you can download Abe's Exodus, Odyssey, and Munch's Odyssey, and Stranger's Wrath HD all on the PlayStation Network. So please, guys, if you've never played these games before, give them a chance. I mean, if you want to wait for them, you can wait. They've been teased, announced, shown off, blah, 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 for a long time, the remakes. So I'm not actually sure.